What's up, everybody? I'm Jordan Weber. I'm going to take you through a nice mobility session that will get you warmed up for the day, maybe perhaps before a run or a light jog. So what we're going to do is get started with sitting in the butterfly position here, and we're just going to stretch and hold. If you need to, you can always back up against a wall, okay, in this position. If you can find a corner, you can help drive those knees down here and push your elbows into the wall. If you don't have support, or if you don't need support, it's going to look just like this. And what we're going to do is just start pushing the elbows into the thighs here. Just breathe and hold. We're going to hold this for about a minute. And when we hold this position, just focus on relaxing and breathing. Inhaling, feeling the stomach, the lower belly, the obliques, the lower back. And then exhaling it all out. And hold it for another 30 seconds here. Keep breathing. All right, when we get to 2 minutes, or when we get to 1 minute, we're going to start pressing the elbows into the thighs. And we're going to begin amping up the intensity from 0 to 100%. Okay, so start pressing the elbows into the thighs, thighs into the elbows, hold it, 10%, 20%, 30% effort. You should feel all the tissues and the adductors and groin starting to turn on, 40% to 50%, 50 to 60%. 60 to 70, and hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then you're going to squeeze your fist and actively bring those knees toward the ground. Hold those knees down as hard as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly bring your hands back to your ankles. Press your elbows into your thighs, passively stretch here. And then we're going to go ahead and get into the straddle position. We're going to bring our hands behind our back. We're just going to arch our lower back, push our belly forward, bring our chest back and head back. And then we're going to segment the spine from neck around the upper back. And then try to concave or make a nice little arch here with the spine. And then hips will drive forward, stomach drives forward, chest drives forward, head and neck back. Same thing, now head down, around the upper back, mid-spine, concaves, and then back to your straddle position. If you need to, go back into the corner and hold here in option 2, no support with your back. From here, what we're gonna do is reach forward and then slide back. We're just gonna reach forward and slide back. Reach forward and slide back. We're gonna face one leg, we're gonna slide forward and slide back. Slide forward and slide back. And then switch side here, slide forward, slide back, slide forward, slide back. Okay, now we're going to face this leg here. We're going to try to keep our back straight. We're going to try to drive this heel off the ground using the quad and the hip flexors here to raise the leg up. I'm going to press this leg down, press my hands into the ground, irradiate, squeeze my stomach here. And I'm going to inhale, push and lift. Breathe and hold here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly bring it down. And then switch side, same thing. Take a big inhale, push into the ground, radiate, breathe shallow here, off the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, and slowly bring it down, okay? From here, we'll get into our 90-90 position. Make sure both knees are at 90. Your hip is in line with the knee. Should make a 90-degree here with the hips as well as the knees and the ankles. Front foot is lined up with the back shin and foot, and this should go out, making a 90-degree angle. We're gonna look forward, lean forward here. Should feel a stretch on the outer left or right glute that you have there on your front hip. So this would be our front hip, back hip, okay? Front hip's in external hip rotation and hip flexion, and our back hip is slightly in hip extension and internal rotation here, okay? So from here, what we're gonna do is lean forward and then lean back, lean forward and then lean back. And then we're going to see if we can bring our arms off the ground and hold. Breathe and then come back down. One more, up. And then come back down. Now we're going to challenge ourselves by leaning forward, and we're going to try to keep our back straight. As we do that, we're going to try to pull our leg toward our chest. It won't be able to lift off the ground, but that's fine. And then when we push away, we're going to use the outside of the hip and the outside of the leg to push into the ground on the way back. So forward, pull in, and back, and then when we're pulling away, get back. So pull yourself in and push back. Pull yourself in and then push back. Pull in and push back. All right, switch side. So 90-90 position, front leg is in external hip rotation, rear leg's in hip internal rotation. We're gonna face forward, lean forward, and then lean back. Should feel the outside and back of that hip and glute. Fire up when you lean forward and relax when you lean back. Okay, this would be a kinetic hip external rotation stretch here. And then from here, we're going to challenge ourselves by lifting the hands off the ground, leaning forward and leaning back. And as we lean forward, I want you to try to think of pulling that leg off the ground. And then when we lean back, I want you to think of pushing the outside leg into the ground. So pull in, push back. So we're gonna pull in and then push back. Pull in, then push back. Pull in, push back. All right, so then you can go into hip internal rotation, but we're gonna do that in the sleeper stretch position, the hip sleeper. So in this, this one is really good to have back support, because then you can really focus on that leg. So if you don't have a corner, just use a wall. What we're gonna do is get into the bear position first. And then we're going to internally rotate one hip so you get a good stretch. Now I understand that a lot of people can just go like this, but you want to find a good stretch where you're not opening up the entire hip just like that. Or you're not closing the hip all the way down. We're just finding that stretch. So hold here, breathe, inhale and exhale. Should feel a stretch on the outside of that hip. And then from here, we're going to start pressing the knee into the hands, hands into the knees. 5% effort, 10%, 20, 30, engage your whole body. 40%, 50, 60, 60 to 70, hold here, 3, 2, and then from here internally rotate away from the hands for 5, 4, 3, all the way down, 2 and 1, and then find your new passive stretch, and then switch. Switching side here, breathe. Breathe. I really like having this corner here, because then you don't have to worry about trying to balance. You can focus all of your energy into this hip here. So sometimes finding the most comfortable position is going to be the way you find the best line of tension as well. And then from here, go ahead and press the hands into the knee, knee into the hand. 10%, 20, 30, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, all the way to 70 and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then pull deeper into hip internal rotation. Try not to go into any pinching. Hold here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so done with the hips. We're going to get into the ankles now. So we're going to get into the combat position. If you can't get into the combat position, then what you can do is just get into a kneeling position, half kneeling, and then lean forward here. Okay, same thing, just like that. For a lot of people, this is going to be a lot better. Okay, and what you want to do is try to keep this heel on the ground. I'm going to do the same thing, but just in the combat position. I'm going to try to get the chest over the midline of the knee. I'm going to hold here. Feel that stretch. Breathe. And then once you find a good line of tension, begin to start pressing the foot into the ground. 10%. So you're trying to undorsiflex. So the dorsiflexion, you're trying to plantar flex. So push in, 10%. Turn the tissue on the back calf there, 20%. 30, 40, 50, 60, all the way to 70, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and now I want you to pull those toes toward the shins and turn the fibularis group on. Pull it up, go deeper into your stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, switching side. Again, it can look just like this. Pushing down, pulling up. Okay. Or you can have that knee over the toe, mid-chest over the knee, knee over the toes, and then find that line of tension. Is it, where is it? You might have to play around with the tension lines here. So. What's that quote about stretching? I'm not going to remember it, but simply it's the feel of the stretch, not the stretch. I forget who says it. All right, from here, go ahead and start pressing the toes into the ground, 10% to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then pull those toes toward shin, go deeper into the stretch. 5, 4, 3, you should feel that burn. 2 and 1, and then you can come out of that stretch. Okay. For your feet here, we're just going to extend those toes into the ground. And then for your ankles and other groups of the lower limb, we're going to just push the hands into the wall. Back leg is straight, front knee is slightly bent. Hold this position here. Find a good line of tension. And then start pressing those toes into the ground like we were doing before. And then pull those toes up. And then from here, step a little bit forward, bend the knee, straighten the front leg. And we should feel a little bit different tension line here. This is more the soleus. Before we were more gastroc. From here, we're going to press those toes into the ground and then pull those toes up, push down, pull up. And then from here, you can bring the whole foot up the wall and just do some kinetic stretch here, just up and down. Don't have to go through another PAILs and rows, but you can. And then switch side. Still one of the best stretches. And then press those toes into the ground. Pull those toes up. You can try it again, push down, pull up. Step forward, bend the knee, straighten the front leg. Should feel it more in the knee here, but don't worry. If you feel any pain, just go out of it. From here, press those toes into the ground, pull those toes toward the shin, push down, pull up. And then from here, you can pull those toes up the wall, but it looks like I'm dirtying up the wall, so you might have to use a wall or just dirty it up. I'll have to clean it. From here, you can press into the wall, pull away, or you can just do some light kinetic stretching. All right, so now I'm going to clean the wall. We're going to push our body into the wall, hand into the wall, shoulder, elbow, back, knee, and hip into the wall. From here, we're going to push this hand a little bit forward as we flex our right hip, or it could be your left hip. We're going to abduct the hip and then internally rotate so the knee will go down as the foot goes up, and extend the hip back so the knee touches the knee. From here, create a circle, extend the hip back, abduct, externally rotate, flex forward, and adduct down, and then one more, abduct, internally rotate as you extend, and then extend, abduct, externally rotate to flexion. Okay, go ahead and switch sides. Push into the wall, hand is forward, flex the hip, abduct, internally rotate as you extend, knee touches the knee, keep the knee bent, extend, abduct, externally rotate to flexion, and then back out. Foot goes up as the knee goes down to extension, and then extension all the way out to the knee, all the way down. Now we're going to just finish up with some spinal flexion and extension segmentation. In the quadruped position, round the back, tuck the chin. So from here, our head and neck is flexed, our upper back is flexed, and our low spine is flexed here. Our hips are pelvically tilted posteriorly. And then from here, we're going to start our anterior pelvic tilt from the low lumbar all the way to the thoracic spine, all the way to the cervical spine. And then from here, we'll go C1 down, C2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then T1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then L1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sacrum, all the way to the coccyx or tailbone. Then from here, you're all done.